Each winter, the Salt River Project utility company lowers the water levels along the Salt River in order to provide water and energy to more than 2 million Arizonans. But regulating the water levels has impact along the river. Megan Newsham shows us how wildlife, specifically the wild horses, handle these changes in flow.
About 440 wild horses depend on this river to hydrate, to play, and above all, eat.
You know, we're so close to the metropolis of Phoenix, right? Where you can see wildlife. There are so many recreational activities, and above all, people come here to see these beautiful, wild, free-roaming Salt River horses.
Salt River Wild Horse Management Group is an Arizona-based nonprofit dedicated to managing and protecting the horses that roam this area of the state. And protecting the horses also means protecting their food supply, specifically the eelgrass.
It's just really breaks our heart when we see them lose this resource that they really need for their survival.
However, nature is no longer in charge of the Salt River. Its levels are controlled by SRP, the Salt River Project Utility Company.
SRP is a power and water provider for the valley, and on the water side we serve over 2 million customers.
SRP controls the levels of the river by using a dam to release a certain amount of water. The difference between the water levels in summer and winter months is extreme, going from 800 to 1,500 cubic feet per second during summer months to sometimes less than 8 cubic feet per second in the winter. To better understand the difference in the water levels, last week the Salt River behind me was at 800 cubic square feet, which would mean that the water level was about up to my knees, and now it looks like this.
And when they shut it off, it kills the eelgrass, which the horses depend on.
David Stallings is a volunteer for the Wild Horse Management Group and says for the past 3 years they have tried to stop the Salt River Project from lowering the levels below 100 cubic feet per second.
We're not asking to keep it at 800, 900 CFS because that would be unreasonable, would cost them a lot of money and too much effort, and they have customers and stakeholders. But 100 CFS is about 10% of what they keep it in the summer, and at 100 CFS we could keep most of that eelgrass alive.
Salt River Project says this request is not as simple as it sounds.
So the request to increase those fall releases from 8 CFS to 100 CFS out from Stewart Mountain Dam actually puts about 9 billion gallons of water at risk every year that operation is continued.
And SKARUPA says saving this amount of water every year is crucial because of historic droughts. However, the Salt River Wild Horse Management Group believes keeping the water levels higher helps the entire ecosystem, not just the horses.
Tadpoles that are salamanders and frogs and all kinds of rare reptiles and fish here in the lower Salt River. So we could preserve that life and the eelgrass for all of the ecosystem.
The challenge will be dividing this resource with humans and horses for years to come. In Phoenix, Megan Newsham, Cronkite News.
The Wild Horse Management Group was unable to come up with a settlement between SRP. The water levels will be lowered again this winter. This means the rescue group will have to begin their feed program. To find out more information or if you would like to donate, go to saltrivermanagementgroup.org.